Your Excellency, now I would like to invite the Acting Vice-Chancellor to do two things. The first one, I would like him to come and take the maize. If you don't mind, just take it up with you. I am thinking that, ladies and gentlemen, it's important that we celebrate the achievement of the Open University. So I'd like him to display it to everyone. I think he can get the assistance. That symbol of power. And if you can just display it to the members of the audience so that you can celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much and congratulations. We wish you all the best. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, once he has done that, I would also like to ask him now to come here. He will read the goodwill messages, a few of them, I hope. And then after that, he will invite the chair of the council. And from then on, we'll proceed to the end. Welcome, Vice Chancellor.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Cabinet Secretaries present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, sir, as we embarked on this journey to operationalize the Open University of Kenya, we interacted with and engaged many institutions, professionals, and potential collaborators from around the world, some of whom that have sent us messages of goodwill as we receive the charter today. Allow me, Your Excellency, sir, to read a few of those goodwill messages. They are very captivating when they are read at length, and they will form part of a rich history that will mark the foundation of this university. Your Excellency, sir, we have received a message from the Commonwealth of Learning in Canada, signed by Sanjaya Mishra, the Director of Education. Sir, we have also received a message from leaders of Africa Institute, Michigan in the United States of America, and this has been brought to us by Peter Penner, the Executive Director. Your Excellency, sir, we have also received a message from African Council for Distance Learning in Ghana, signed by Goski Alabai, the President. Your Excellency, we have also received a message from eLearning Africa in Berlin, Germany, signed by Rebecca Stromeyer, the Founder and Chief Executive. We've also received a message from African Council for Distance Education, which has been brought to us by Professor Leonard Feuger on behalf of the Executive Director. Your Excellency, sir, we've received a message from the National Open University of Nigeria, which has been signed by Professor Olufemi Peters, the Vice Chancellor and First Vice President of African Council for Distance Education. Your Excellency, sir, we also have a message from the Open University of Tanzania, which has been signed by Professor Eliphas Tozo Bisanda, who is the Vice Chancellor of that university. Your Excellency, we have also received a message from the Vice Chancellor's Committee of the Public Universities in Kenya, which has been signed by Professor Daniel Mugendi, who is also the Vice Chancellor of Embu University. Last but not least, among those that have been coming in, we have a message from Kenya Education Network, brought to us by the Executive Director, Professor Meoli Kashorda. Sir, those are just a few of the messages, among others, which we have continued to receive as the ceremony continues. Thank you, Your Excellency. Now it's my singular duty to invite the Chairman of Council, Professor Ezra Maritim, to come and make remarks. Welcome, sir.
His Excellency the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Honorable Ezekiel Machogu, Cabinet Secretary for Education, all protocol observed. Your Excellency, sir, I had two positions, or I had a position of being a chair of the Technical Working Committee to establish this Open University. On that capacity, I would like to thank you, sir, and take opportunity to thank you for championing the establishment of Open University of Kenya. First, when you were the Minister for Higher Education, and now as the head of state and government, the Open University of Kenya, whose charter you issued today, is indeed your brainchild. Second, late last year, you gave instruction that you wanted to see the Open University chartered soonest. Today, we are here to witness the realization of that expectations. Your Excellency, sir, as we learn from the exploits of our renowned long-distance athletes, it doesn't matter how one poorly starts the race. What matters is how one finishes the race. Your Excellency, the race to operationalize the Open University of Kenya started some years back, at least 14 years ago. Today, it comes to the finish line. In your speech on Madaraka Day, you said, and I quote, "And later this year, Kenyans will have the opportunity to go to the university from the comfort of their homes." Your Excellency, sir, education for all is a worthwhile dream. Quality education makes human beings equal. Your own life, sir, Mr. President, is a testimony to the equalization power of education. The Open University of Kenya creates opportunities for those who cannot attend the formal structured universities for their higher education. Setting up the Open University of Kenya is in part a response to the recent UNESCO on reimagining higher education for the benefit of all those who need. By providing alternative pathways in access to higher education, not only in country but across the border, the Open University becomes a major vehicle for integration of East African community. In the recent visit, your recent visit to Rwanda, you emphasized this point, sir. Your Excellency, sir, in line with the vision of the government you lead, the Open University is a framework of action for repairing injustices that have prevailed and have been perpetuated by our education system since independence. We have practiced our education system that has suffered from grade disease, failed to recognize prior learning, and is anchored on exclusion, and hence closing off many Kenyans from realizing themselves and their potentials. Sir, I would like to report to you that the Technical Working Committee on Operationalization of Open University of Kenya took time to deliberate on what makes the Open University of Kenya unique. And that's what I want to emphasize, sir. What makes this university unique? And they identified 5 aspects of that uniqueness. First, Open University is a visionary framework. Your Excellency, a vision creates hope. And without vision, people perish. Sir, Open University is a framework of hope. It is a university that will build life and aspirations of Kenyans who, for one reason or another, lost hope for higher education. By issuing a charter to Open University of Kenya today, you signify a move away from exclusion in access in higher education to inclusion. Second, Open University is a framework of shared prosperity. Your Excellency, sir, Open University is also a framework of shared prosperity. The vision of Open University is innovative university for inclusive prosperity. This declared vision seeks to answer the question, how do we enable Kenyans to benefit from prosperity envisioned in Kenya Vision 2030? Sir, the Technical Working Committee believes that through inclusivity in education, national prosperity can be shared. Third, OUK is an enabling framework. Your Excellency, sir, education is an enabling enterprise. And by opening up continuous learning, opportunities for all are created. The Technical Working Committee, which I had the opportunity and privilege to chair, recommends strongly that the concept of school dropout should be withdrawn from use in our society, either casually or in official education documents. This is because we understand education as a continuous process. In reality, what happens is that learners step out of the learning process when they face challenges, and they step in when conditions become favorable or affordable. OUK will therefore provide this revolving door for stepping in and stepping out of learning process. Fourth, sir, OUK is a framework of openness. Your Excellency, sir, the true democratization of education is through provision of open access to learning opportunities. One part of this university's name is the word open. This implies that the university embraces flexibility, inclusivity with respect to admission, progression while studying, time of study, place of study, and the method of study. Those who want to continue with work and study, travel and study, herding their livestock and study, pursue lifelong learning without restrictions or limitations with respect to age, gender, or duration, or the cost of learning, now have a place to actualize their aspirations. Fifth, Open University is a strategic framework. Your Excellency, the Technical Working Committee sees the Open University is a strategic framework, and hence enabling or establishing this university will help the national and the African Union Agenda 2063 by ensuring that Education 4.0 interactive technologies in teaching and learning in higher education becomes the principal mode rather than the peripheral mode, which is the current situation. Ensuring that the masses of our people who need education are not left behind, as advocated by SDG4. Positioning Kenya as an export of education in Africa, and thus enhancing African Agenda 2023 and UNESCO's Convention on Programs, Skills, Students, and Staff Mobility across the borders. Facilitating those in diaspora and those in diplomatic service to access homegrown programs for their children. Finally, sir, I would like to assure you that the Technical Working Committee identified young ICT Kenyan graduates who developed world-class learning management system, website, e-library, and digitized the courses. And sir, at this point, I would like to ask those professors, the 51 professors who assisted the committee to develop the 8 programs, and the 25 young ICT graduates from this country who digitized the same courses developed. They are here with you, sir. Where are you? Thank you, they are here, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Be seated. Thank you. Your Excellency, it is a wish of the Technical Working Committee that Open University develops its own custom-designed ICT system through open access approach. This approach will be one way of reducing tuition fees, containing operational costs, and managing risks associated with students' personal data. Thank you, Your Excellency. I would like to invite the Chancellor of Open University of Kenya to make his remarks. Welcome, Chancellor.
His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, His Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Honorable Ezekiel Machogu, Cabinet Secretary for Education, all protocols observed. Your Excellency, sir, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as the first Chancellor of this new university, sir. I'm humbled that you have given me a responsibility to provide the service for this country on your behalf, which I humbly accept. Sir, you have bestowed on me that trust to perform the function of a Chancellor just when my service as Chancellor of University of Science and Technology has just ended, which I served 2013 to 2023, and assure you I'll bring the insights that I've learned from being a Chancellor to this new university. Your Excellency, while we have enjoyed the benefits of the conventional mode of learning for many decades, new global challenges justifies the putting up of this open university to manage the constraints of the mode of world education. Four constraints are eminent. First, during the calamities such as COVID-19, this mode of education is not sustainable as we experienced. Second, with increasing demand for higher education, and particularly where half of the population is below the age of 15, this mode of education is also not sustainable. Third, advancement in information and technology is providing more efficient ways of teaching and learning. And fourth, Kenya needs to join the League of Nations that are embracing and taking the advantage of the benefits and impact of technology advancement. Your Excellency, it's an honor and a privilege to serve your vision in furthering our country's dream of creating a globally competitive workforce by providing affordable, accessible education. Technology and advancement has continued to support innovation and disruptions in the delivery of services to society, bringing efficiency and productivity. Kenya will be leapfrogging this education delivery by optimizing on technology to support open learning. I assure you and the people of Kenya of my dedication to serve my country in this role and leverage the learnings from my expansive equity education program to scale our country's education and footprint and impact. Your Excellency, sir, the Open University of Kenya that you have awarded the charter today is a public university that will be regulated by the Commission of University Education like any other university in the country. Sir, at one quality assurance umbrella on academic standards, inter-university student mobility will be possible. I encourage all universities in our country to embrace these for the benefit of learners. Your Excellency, sir, being newly established, the Open University requires heavy investment in startup cost, ICT infrastructure, and program development. The new university administration will work with the relevant government agencies and development partners on these areas so that the university achieve economies of scale by 2027. Your Excellency, as the Chancellor of this university, I work with the Vice Chancellor, the Chairman of the Council and University Council in adhering strictly to the rules and regulations governing a public university. We shall ensure that we conduct the business of this university effectively, efficiently, in a manner appropriate for the proper conduct of public business. Your Excellency, we have a golden opportunity to position this university globally by optimizing on technology. We shall optimize on this as our differentiator in driving a low-cost business model, fast-tracking our growth while ensuring and upholding the highest standards of quality. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I now wish to invite the Cabinet Secretary, Education, Ramashau. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Prime Cabinet Ministers, Cabinet Secretaries present, Your Excellency, the Governor of Makueni County, the Head of Public Service, and all the Principal Secretaries present, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kajiado County, the members of Parliament present here, plus my Chair of Council, my Chair of Education Committee in the National Assembly, and my Chair of the Education Committee in the Senate, the Chairperson of Commission for University Education, and the Secretary of Commission for University Education. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, it's a very happy moment. Before I make any remarks, Your Excellency, the Governor of Makueni County is here on behalf of all the members of Parliament, our MCAs, and every other person here. Governor, please come and make your remarks in one moment.
Thank you. Asante, thank you. Your Excellency, the President, Prime Cabinet Secretary, my friend and neighbor, Musalia Mudavadi, MPs present, Cabinet Secretaries present, Chair of the university, my friend Professor Mutisia, he was my competitor. We used to smile when we were competing. The Chair of Konza, Professor Munavu, my mentor. His Excellency, that gentleman is my mentor in many, many ways, and therefore recognize him. We have agreed, you said I speak in a moment, but we have agreed with His Excellency the President to do the following. I'll invite Mheshimiwa Zambia to speak. Yes, come. And then the two deputy governors. So they said a moment, so speak in a moment.
Thank you for that opportunity. This is my first time to address our President, Your Excellency, our Prime Minister, Musalia Mudavadi, CSS, members of Parliament, senators, and our governors around. Na watu wa Kilome hamjambo. Before I continue, Your Excellency, kuna kitu uyaambiwa. Leo kila mtu alikuwa ameingia hapa by 8, asifungiwe kwa mlango. Hiyo uyaambiwa. So, Your Excellency, our President, I want to be very brief. And before I make my remark, let me introduce all the members of Parliament by just upstanding so that you can be recognized. MPs, members of Parliament. Asanteni sana. Mnaweza keti. Ama mnataka kuongea? Asanteni sana. Thank you. To the Chair, Education Committee, Karibu sana. Now, even the TSC fraternity is here. Just feel welcomed. I want to make very few remarks. First, Your Excellency, from 2013, you have put all your effort to this concert Techno-City. And I can assure you, you have done and you have changed the lives of Makueni people, including Kilome as a constituency. As we speak, I have over 500 young men who have been employed here from Kilome constituency, and it even made me to be elected again this time. Your Excellency, what I have in my mind is that I know you move very fast and you understand the needs of our people. Phase 1 has been done and it is completed. We urge the next phase, which is phase 2, to come in immediately so that those who have been phased out, that's the workers who have been phased out, can get back and get employed. Your Excellency, those who doesn't know, the Kenyan data center is here. All horizontal development, you've gone around, you have seen, a lot of tarmacking has been done. We have the best sewerage system in place, and all that is through the effort of our president, because he has stood with us and making this project move on. Your Excellency, I would not fail to mention one person by the name Engineer Tanui. That man has changed this place. He was dedicated. He was every time 24/7 working with us, and he has made all the changes you can see around. If it was not for the horizontal development, I'm telling you, we could be having more than 100 story buildings like this one. Unajua maneno au chini watu hawezi elewa vizuri. There is a tunnel where we are here, 2.5 meters wide. So a lot has been done here, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, through that, we want to hunch your office. If it can be very possible, you will relocate the ICE department in this concert. Your Excellency, I just want to be very brief, and because of time, through the open university you've done today, I don't know who advised you. You did the right thing. Dr. Mwangi, who is the chancellor, he will grow this university the way he has done in Equity Bank. And I know will go very far. And I want to say this. I want to start by saying that I will sponsor 100 students to join this university from my Kilome constituency. That is point number 1. Your Excellency, you gave me a vocational training college. We have done, already we have received 40 million. We are almost going to complete it by the end of December. We are only remaining 20 million, which we factored in this budget. And Mr. Meli, who is our chair, has assured me we will get the money to complete the college so that we can train more young men. In fact, when we were studying, you are the brainchild of the TVETs. When we started the TVETs, people could not understand what we were doing, but now they know. There is a time where you could not get more than 10 plumbers, but now we have over 200 who have gone through the trainings. So we appreciate you for that, Your Excellency. Lastly, we have enough space at this place where we can decongest Nairobi. We can provide enough land to do affordable housing, because from here to Nairobi it's less than 30 minutes. And if you agreed with me, yeah, of course, it is 30 minutes. So if we can have the commuter train, and of course, those who are not aware, His Excellency, our President, has organized, and anytime we will have Anduo cadence from Machakos Junction to Emali, then to Mombasa. Thank you, Your Excellency, for keeping on remembering us. Lastly, and last but not the least, now you allow us to address the President for the first time. I know a lot is on the way. There is the third project you initiated. We want to get some water from Notresh, from Kajiado, all the way in an independent line up to this place. And I know that is in the process. And lastly, Governor, I know Thwake Dam is ongoing, and we are still expecting that water to be distributed to this area. Thank you, and may God bless you, and we pray for you. And I assure you there are no stones around.
Thank you. Thank you. We also have members of County Assembly. Could you please be upstanding? There's only one Yes, members of the County Assembly from this area, led by Mr. Justus Mwanzia. Wapigieni makofi hao. I know you are sending me notes so that people speak, but you know the president has given me direction, so unless you lodge an appeal, hawezi kubali. Now, the area MP has spoken. Now, Your Excellency, there's a gentleman, if you remember in 2003, who sued you. He's here, he's now a senator of Makueni. This one. And because of Senator Manzo, he gave me the privilege, by suing you, for me to defend you. In 2003, when he lodged a suit on behalf of Reuben Chesire. We now also have in our presence the two deputy governors. I'll ask them to come. Deputy Governor Mr. Moshisho, on behalf of the Governor of Kajiado, Deputy Governor Mwangangi, please come, both of you. On behalf of Governor Wavinya, we have the Deputy Governor of Makueni. Where are you? Former County Commissioner. 3. Kuja. Could the Makueni Cabinet please stand? Makueni Cabinet, wako wapi? Oh, mumekaa nyuma. That is the Makueni Cabinet. I have seen the Chair of Tanathi. Chair of Tanathi Water, wako wapi? Yes. Mheshimiwa Regina. Now, His Excellency the President has said, musalimiani. Kwanza wewe.
Asante sana. Your Excellency, our President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Secretaries present, Your Excellency, Governor and Deputy Governors, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Martin Moshisho, Deputy Governor Kajiado, and Your Excellency, we are very, very glad to be associated and to be part of the Technopolis. And indeed, we really appreciate the development and the strides that Kenya is making through this city. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Open University of Kenya and appreciate you, Your Excellency, for your determination, because in most cases, most universities operate using the letter of interim. But here today, you have given a charter in the formative stages of Open University of Kenya, and this shows your determination and dedication to ensure that Kenyans are able to access affordable education and a global competitive education. Your Excellency, congratulations and thank you so much. Kajiado being part of this city, a lot of things happening, and we want to appreciate the participation and the involvement by the management of this Techno City in the leadership of Kajiado. We promise that we're going to fully support that a lot is going to be realized. Sina mingi, allow me to say long live Open University of Kenya. Asanteni sana.
To our President and the Prime Cabinet Secretary and all leaders present, I'm here to represent the area governor, Her Excellency Honorable Wavinya Deti, who is out of the country. She has sent a very powerful delegation. The whole government is here. The chief officers, the ministers, they are here. Please, can you be upstanding so that I don't talk about people who are not here? Even many, you can see. Thank you, we appreciate you. Your Excellency, I have two comments from the governor and then one other which I feel is more important for this occasion. One, thank you. Thank you. For the history of this project, your current budget is highest since this project was started. And Our Excellency says, I appreciate this, your administration for that undertaking. The budget we have to develop this area is the highest, and the governor highly appreciates. Number two, we would wish, this is an international venture, but somewhere in Kenya, in Machakos. And we request humbly that unless jobs around here are too technical, we consider first the people from this region. Number three, and almost final, is main source of water for this techno-city is from Thwake. Your Excellency, there is a challenge. 2 days ago, I went to represent Her Excellency somewhere, and a project that you are doing to clean Nairobi rivers. Actually, the way it is now, Your Excellency, it is like transferring the sewerage system from urban part of this region, Nairobi, to all the way to Thwake Dam. Something urgently needs to be done, Your Excellency. I believe strongly Kenya is in safe hands under His Excellency the President. And why am I saying this? Sometimes you need to know, the president I know now, the president of Kenya, was one time Minister for Higher Education. And the reforms he started then, we are seeing fruits now. Part of the ways to bring down cost of living for parents in this country is to establish a university like we have Open University for Kenya, because students will not travel because they need not to. You need to sit at the comfort of where you are seated and do your learning. That is, you are addressing some of these challenges before they are even discussed. Secondly, our president was Minister for Agriculture. Mr. President, I tell you for free that the Mbamba harvest we did when you were Minister for Agriculture has never been done. 2 days ago, you started that program. You are now addressing another challenge before even it is discussed. Thank you, Mr. President, for that. Then, we have a request. And this request, I'm doing it on behalf of people of Machakos and this region. This is, Mr. President, this is watoto wako. Zambia has talked about no stones today. I assure you there is none that is going to be. Let's have a different alternative national ways of discussing and resolving our issues internally. Because, Mr. President, the 700 million Honorable Murkomen is going to use to repair expressway could put up almost level 5 hospital within this facility. My governor has told me to tell you, our government is going to work with your government so that these people can gain from your administration and development can be realized. Thank you, Mr. President, for even accepting you won against system, against a lot of things. We even took you to court, but you have now accepted again to let malalamishi yetu tuongee. Sasa tuongee, mlango ya kuongea isipungwe, lakini Mr. President never sacrificed democratic principles. Because here in Machakos, we have a deputy governor and the governor. Na hatutaki kisirani ati utulete maneno ingine. Wacha Wavinya na Mwangangi wafanye kazi ile wanapaswa kufanya. We need to know if there is democracy, democracy dictates that you win, you govern, but I also correct you if you are competing. Those are sentiments from Honorable Wavinya Det. So as I go to sit, Your Excellency, Niccolo Machiavelli said one time, if you want to know the intelligence of a leader, look around the people around him or her. Thank you for what you have done for this country so far. May God bless you as you lead us. Asante.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President and all protocols observed. My name is Lucy Molili, Deputy Governor for Mutula Kilonzo, Makueni County. Now that my governor is here, I'll just say one remark because my training, I've not yet become a full politician like Honorable Mwangangi, Deputy Governor Machakos. Just to thank you for coming to Makueni County and to request you, Your Excellency, the President, kindly to plan a development visit to Makueni County. Makueni County people, we love you. And the last, I would wish to thank you. Asanteni sana. Your Excellency, the President, I would wish to thank you for the fertilizer you provided. And probably in Makueni County, we will be requesting more fertilizer stores so that farmers can be able to get food, because food security is an issue in Makueni and the whole of Makueni. I mean, all of Okambani and other areas. Thank you so much. I think I can now call my governor to come because he has a speech which he has. Thank you.
Thank you. It's not actually a speech. It's just brief remarks, Your Excellency. I have a privilege of being deputized by Lucy Molili. She was a former county commissioner at 3 counties, Nandi, Kericho, and Kakamega. And last post was here at Konza. She was the one in charge of the money that Mr. Engineer Tanui was spending. Allow me, Your Excellency, first and foremost, to acknowledge Engineer Tanui. Now, when Engineer Tanui came here, of course, for the local politics, we were thinking they should have hired a Mutiso or a Mutua or something like that. But Engineer Tanui has proved that it doesn't matter who you appoint to whatever position and wherever they are. They can still, as long as they are competent, they can serve. Engineer Tanui has served this region, balanced the politics. Usisikie wanaongea tu, has balanced all of us to the extent then that you don't have problems. There's a young lady who I must recognize, and I hope she's here, June Chepkemei. Ukwapa. There's a lady by the name June Chepkemei. That is the second person I want to recognize for the work they did, including making sure that the title deed for this region, for this 5,000 acres, is securely in the hands of Konza. Thanks to Engineer Tanui. Your Excellency, this development here is significant, and let me tell you why. This was Malili Cooperative Society land, this one. It was just given name Konza to beautify it. But otherwise, we are standing in Malili sublocation. Wow, wengine wasikudanganye. Wasikudanganye. Now, our forefathers, including my own grandfather, invested in buying this land. And they were not educated. But they died and left share certificates. So the owners and the people who sold the 5,000 acres, those people were not educated like all my friends here and ourselves. But now, you have launched the most modern university in Konza. Mpigieni Rais makofi. And it will be inexpensive, it will be cheap, people can learn from home. And in our discussions that we have had, this region with the national fiber optic cable, the one that terminates all the way in our headquarters. And I have requested, Your Excellency, that this national fiber optic cable moves from our county commissioners' offices to ourselves and to create hotspots. And our county commissioners have been working well. Hours of Makueni is here. I've seen him. Your Excellency, that is the solution in terms of technology. Now, in this area, this particular area, and I've mentioned to you, the success of this city is pegged on several things. One, energy. Thank you to PS and Waziri for making sure that we have the first facility that is going to provide energy and is right here. The energy that I had from the PS is enough to power all the counties and give extra for Mombasa. Simupigia wadau makofi. The second one, Your Excellency, is water. So there are two sources of water. One is Twake Dam that will bring water all the way to Konza. Deputy Governor Mwangangi has mentioned to you the problems of the pollution. That doesn't bother me because if we are in the task force. He may not know. You agreed to my proposal that Makueni and Machakos be included in the task force. There is water across from Kajiado. It's called the Noltresh water. I will shock you, Your President, that there's a tank not too far away from here that is 14 million liters. Now, that system is old, was launched by the former President Moi, is vandalized. I've attempted to seek your arbitration. It has not worked. My proposal to you is that if what Ambassador Macharia then wrote to me, that Exim Bank had agreed to do a new pipeline of water that would come to Konza, would be the greatest thing you can do, both to Konza, but then the water, since it will come through the highway, it can help the people of Makueni. These people along this highway that feeds Nairobi, that everybody passes, that has got SGR, that has got everything else going to Nairobi. It's unfortunate that we do not have water. And even when the water is available, Mheshimiwa Rais, it costs you nearly 40 shillings to buy a jerrycan of water. In a new Kenya, that is an injustice. And therefore, Your Excellency, I am proposing, alongside the proposal that you have mentioned of having a dual carriage all the way up to Emali. What maybe Mheshimiwa Mwengi Mutuse here, MP Kibwezi West, will tell you, is that the only economic corridor existing in this region lies between Namanga, through Emali, to Okia, all the way to Garissa Road. There's a road there that has been promised since 1963 that can open Kajiado, Makueni, Machakos, all the way to Garissa. It's called the Economic Corridor that Kenya has already planned. I've given you a booklet. That booklet, the red booklet I've given you, contains the problems of Makueni, all of them, that one. From water to infrastructure to ICT to education. I've bound it well so that Farouk doesn't lose it. At a good opportunity, together with my colleagues, and we work with them with the leadership in Makueni, we will tell you what we want to do. We have already offered land for affordable housing. We are ready. Just say, Mwe, tutakuja, tufanye hiyo maneno. Phase 1 of Thwake is important for us, Your Excellency, the provision of water that will come to Wote to make sure that the Wote becomes the city that it is envisioned. I have finished. But let me check my notes so that I'm not blamed for not saying something I should have said. Your Excellency, across behind here is the SGR. The SGR can provide both transport and communication to Konza City. We call it kilometer 26. It's on the other side. If in whatever it is that you want to do in terms of developing Konza, the SGR and a kilometer road can be done. It would help us to ensure that people who are going to live here can then, of course, access this place. Mr. President, we want to promise our support. And that support comes by virtue of the fact that we took oath to work for the people of Kenya. In my case, the people of Makueni. I didn't leave the Senate to become a sitting duck in Makueni. I left the Senate to ensure that the people of Makueni can enjoy the fruits of devolution. If that means that we have to sit with you so that the people of Makueni benefit, that will happen without any apologies. The buffer zone that surrounds the city is being planned. We will ask the ministry to help us. The chair of that buffer zone is the ECM of lands from Makueni, Dr. Sonia, and at an appropriate point, when everything is ready, Your Excellency, we will call upon you to help us plan the buffer zone, because the success of this city is making sure that then you don't have slums here. I launched a very interesting project, and I mentioned to you, Kenyans living in Ireland came together in 2015. They started raising 23 pounds per person, per week, 100 of them. We did the mathematics, it was 345,000 shillings remitted to Kenya. They were doing 17 million shillings a year. They bought land across here. They are doing 200 modern homes. When I say Kenya must have peace, it's important, Your Excellency, that we have peace in this country, because it is that peace that will bring us the sort of investment I have seen from that. We trust you, and Kenyans trust you. The sword we gave you is to rule the country. Do it without fear or favor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Governor. Your Excellency, before I make a remark, I also want to acknowledge the presence of the Vice Chancellors from our public universities and our private universities. Please be upstanding for a moment. Vice Chancellors, all of them are here, Your Excellency, from all our public and private universities to witness this very important occasion, and they have been very, very supportive indeed. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, also to recognize Professor Munafu, who was the chairman of the Presidential Working Committee on Education Reforms, and the members are here also. I can see Professor Some and the other members. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And also to recognize and acknowledge the presence of my colleagues, the Cabinet Secretaries, Cabinet Secretary Waro, ICT, Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua, Foreign Affairs, Cabinet Secretary Penina Maronso, Tourism, Maronsa, Cabinet Secretary Rans, Sakari Injeru is here with us. My friend Churchill was here, but I think he got into another commitment. Your Excellency, I want in a very special way to thank you so much for giving me and my principal secretaries the opportunity, the honor to be part of this very important process, which indeed is historic. Your Excellency, today you have awarded a charter to the first university of its kind in Kenya. This is the first ever open university in Kenya. I have to say, Your Excellency, that your involvement in this historic journey has not started today. Indeed, I can confidently say that the idea of the establishment of the Open University of Kenya was, in fact, your brainchild right from the beginning, 2009. As you rightly reminded us, Your Excellency, during yesterday's launch of the report of the Presidential Working Party on Education Reform, this is a journey which you started when you served as the Minister for Higher Education before you were interrupted way back 2009. When you assumed office as the President last year, you prioritized the establishment of the university. It was one of the terms of reference of the terms of the Presidential Working Party on Education Reform. Because of the very high priority you gave to this matter, you instructed that we get up and we get a standalone technical working committee to expedite the process, and Your Excellency, you gave me the opportunity to appoint Ezra Maritim to be the head of that team, and I really want to thank that team, Your Excellency, because when we had our first meeting on the 9th of January, we had a very serious discussion with my principal secretaries, and you had given me a timeline that we must operationalize this university in the course of this year. And you know, the professors were saying, CS, this can never be, because we have to come up with the programs, we have to come up with the courses, and the earliest it can be is mid-2024, 2025. But because you had given me a timeline, I also insisted and said it has to be done, and I really thank them because they worked 24/7 in order to make it happen. Your principal secretaries were wonderful people. I want to appreciate your Excellency, your PS, Higher Education, Beatrice Nyangara. She did wonderful work. Your PS, PESIC, because of the experience and the institutional memory, our weekly meetings with my PSs, one that was top on the agenda in our discussion was this, and Perio Kibusang was always assisting and advising on how we should be able to go about it. And my PS TVET, Esther Moria, thank you very much for the work we're done. Your Excellency, your insights, advice, and encouragement are what have made the realization of this dream possible within such a short time. You said it has to be done, it is doable, and indeed, here we are today, it has been done, Your Excellency. You helped to clear our doubts and to keep us on the right path. On behalf of the Technical Committee and the Minister of Education, I express our very sincere gratitude for your unwavering support. Your Excellency, I could also like to take this opportunity once more to thank the Technical Committee, indeed under the chairmanship of Professor Esther Maritim, a wonderful worker, very energetic, very resourceful, plus the 51 professors and the other 25 experts in ICT that we were able to get their support for the very excellent work done over the period. Since January of this year, Your Excellency, the team has worked for long hours to actualize the vision of the Open University. They have conducted extensive research and drafted well thought out documents to support the formation and operationalization of the university. I commend them for their sacrifice and dedication. Your Excellency, the establishment of this university opens a new chapter in access to higher education opportunities. By leveraging on technology, this university will promote access to higher education for many men and women who could otherwise have been locked out. They will now be able to access higher education conveniently and at an affordable cost. This way, the university will provide an opportunity for our people and others across the world to nurture and develop their full academic and research potential. Your Excellency, this is an important milestone in ensuring that we have opportunities to build our human capital. As you correctly pointed out the other day, our human capital is our most important resource. And Your Excellency, I undertake that me and the principal secretaries and the top leadership in the ministry, we will 100% continue supporting this university, and we thank you for also appointing the Chancellor, who is a man, Professor Dr. Mwangi James, who is so passionate in this matter, and we will be able to give all the support. At this juncture, Your Excellency, it is now my distinct honor to invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary to make his remarks and invite you, Your Excellency. Please.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Waziri wa Elimu, Honorable Machogu, fellow CSs who are here present, Governor of Makueni and the political leadership of both Machakos, Makueni, and other parts, Kajiado, the academia, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols stand. Your Excellency, there's very little I can say here. because the story of Konza and the story of the Open University is a story that has been written by your hand. So I will say very little, because as we have heard, you have a lot of background information and participation in these projects. Let me focus on my good friend, Mutula. His father was a friend and my personal lawyer. He saved me from a number of things. As humble as I am, I sometimes stumbled. But I think what I would like to pick up from is the fact that we need to work together the way Governor Mutula has said. We need to pull together. We need to foster an environment of peace. We have to create stability, and we have to give Kenyans an opportunity to grow. The government of William Samoei Ruto has disbursed all the arrears that were pending to the county governments. All of them, all 47. The resources have been disbursed to the counties. That has not been easy. There was a backlog that had accumulated over a long period of time. Through the tough measures, the bold measures, we are beginning to see a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. Let us work together as Kenyans, as leaders, so that we can make sure that we move forward. Technology is one of the planks, key planks or pillars in the plan, the President's plan. It is driving Konza. It is indeed driving this university. And it has now opened the doors where the reservoir of knowledge has been broadened literally overnight to millions of Kenyans and also deepened. And we are confident that if we work together, that reservoir of knowledge, of education, shall never dry. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to request you to be upstanding so that you can give the President a clap of honor as he steps onto the podium to address us.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Musalia, tafadhali tuketi chini. Asanteni sana. Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, Mheshimiwa Governor wetu wa Makueni, mawaziri mlio hapa, Deputy Governors, Principal Secretaries mlio hapa, Mr. Chancellor Sir, wana Daktari James Mwangi, the Vice Chancellor of this great institution, and all the other distinguished Kenyans present here, wananchi wa Makueni, Machakos na Kajiado, hamjambo. Nimefurahi sana kufika hapa siku ya leo. Nakumbuka tarehe 15 Disemba 2014 nilikuja hapa kwa mara ya kwanza kuanzisha rasmi ujenzi wa kwanza. Hapa hatukukuwa na chochote. Hakukuwa na barabara. Hizi manyumba zote hazikukuweko. And I am a very proud Kenyan to see what Konza is and what Konza will be. Nataka niseme pongezi kwa wale wote ambao wamehusika na kufikisha Konza mahali imefika. naambiwa ya kwamba kuna wananchi wengi wamechangia, hasa wale walio mbali, wale wamevaa kofia ya construction, wale ndio wamewezesha kazi hii yote ifike mahali imefika. Nataka niseme pongezi, congratulations to the Konsa community, the local community here, and those who have made us come this far. I remember very well that we had to put together a consortium of friends and development partners. And I want to appreciate the government of Korea, the government of Italy, the government of China, because they have provided, working with the government of Kenya, a lot of support. And the government of Kenya has, to date, I think we have put close to 100 billion already in this facility. The power generation facility alone is like 7.9 billion shillings, together with all the other pieces of infrastructure that have gone on here. The government of Kenya has deployed huge resources because Konsa Technopolis is a national piece of infrastructure and is a global outfit. This outfit here is going to serve the people of Kenya. In fact, we've just negotiated a big facility that is going to bring the entire infrastructure, digital infrastructure, technology infrastructure of Kenya into this facility. So I want to ask all of us who are here and to persuade all of us to share this facility. Tumeweka pesa ya Wakenya wote hapa. So hii facility, najua mara mnasema Machakos, sijui Makueni, sijui Kajiado. Hii ni yetu sisi zote, my friends. Hii imejengwa na pesa ya Wakenya wote. Ile pesa tumeweka hapa, sisi wote tunagharamia kama Wakenya. Na I want us to see this facility for what it is. This is a global piece of infrastructure. Wakenya kutoka sehemu zote watasoma katika chuo ambaye tunaanzisha leo. Ile kazi itaendelea hapa, itawafaidi Wakenya wote. Na mimi nataka nishukuru counties ambazo ni majirani hapa kwa kufanya kazi pamoja na sisi. I want to assure you that we are going to work together, all of us. Let me also take this opportunity to congratulate the technical team led by Professor Maritim. Ebu msimame jameni, tuwapigie makofi. Tuwapigie makofi hawa wangwana. The technical team have done a phenomenal job. Pongezi sana. Thank you very much. You can take your seats. For those of you who may not know, when I began this process when I was Minister for Higher Education, I wanted to complete it within a year, but I couldn't because of the circumstances then. I am very proud that we made this part of the Kenya Kwanza commitment to the people of Kenya. In fact, if you read the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto, I undertook that within the first 100 days, I'm going to set up a committee that will look into bringing about the Open University of Kenya, and I did it. And I am very proud that within a year, this university has opened its gates. And by September, we will have students in the Open University of Kenya. It is a very proud moment for me to see this coming to fruition. Let me say a third thing to thank my friend James Mwangi. I know I didn't give you options of saying no. And it is because I have seen your passion in education. The Wings to Fly program has given thousands of young Kenyans an opportunity to acquire education. Your performance at the Meru University is something that we are very proud of. And I am confident that we will be more proud with your stewardship as Chancellor of the Open University of Kenya. I was very specific when I told C.S. Machogu on who the Chancellor should be. And it is because this is a very important institution. This is a bottom-up institution. This institution is going to give opportunity, access to very ordinary people. The people who ordinarily would not afford now have an opportunity to acquire university education from very remote places. An undeniable truth that may be said about the people of Kenya without any fear of contradiction is this, that regardless of the regional and socioeconomic distinctions that are used to describe us, we all want the same thing for ourselves, our families, and our nation. And we fiercely believe that we deserve equal access to the means and opportunities to actualize these aspirations. The rigorous nationwide journey of public consultations that we undertook, which set out the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda, speaks to this truth. This certainty persuaded us to incorporate into the agenda three critical and complementary principles. First, it was a priority for government to develop and strengthen political institutions and cultures which facilitate effective and inclusive national discourse that enable Kenya to define and articulate their aspirations in terms of what we believe in that should be public policy. Secondly, we prioritized the enhanced support for governance and administrative mechanisms that protect rights, guarantee liberty, safeguard dignity, and advance well-being at all times. Finally, we identified the urgent imperative for a development agenda which transforms every Kenyan's fundamental interest from that of expecting and demanding a share of the national development cake to one whereby all Kenyans are rallied to join the common enterprise of making a much bigger and richer national cake and are guaranteed to partake equitably. What I'm trying to say is the following. We've always had a conversation as a country about sharing positions, sharing this, sharing resources. But fundamentally, the conversation that we are now having, the policy interventions that we have recommended in our policy framework, including in our budget, is how, not so much sharing what we have, but on how making sure that we bake a bigger cake. Yeah? And it begins with how we empower everybody to be able to participate in the baking of that bigger cake. And it starts with us arming everybody with the right education, giving everybody a chance at acquiring knowledge, and being empowered to be able to make meaningful contribution. And that is the reason this year had the largest budget in education in Kenya's history. these members of parliament may not know, but it was deliberate that we are going to invest more than 650 billion Kenya shillings from this year going forward in making sure that we equip every Kenyan with knowledge, with expertise, with skills, with competencies, so that each and every one of us can make a contribution to the Kenya that we all want. And the Open University of Kenya is one such that is going to expand access and is going to make education at the higher level affordable. This morning I was having a conversation and I was asking, because it was something that I really wanted to know, and the Vice Chancellor told me it's going to cost half what it would cost ordinarily in a normal university. But we have agreed with James that we don't want it to cost half. We want it to cost a quarter. And James has already told me how we are going to do it. You know, so I made the right choice over Chancellor. He has already given me ideas on how we are going to make this affordable. And in fact, he has even better ideas than I had. So I am in the right place. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda is concerned with the connection between productivity of labor and economic transformation is easily understood in terms of job creation, higher incomes, savings, investments, as drivers of rapid economic growth. For people to earn high or rising incomes, they need to possess productive capacity in terms of knowledge, skills, motivation, and capacity to perform tasks which create high value. It is clear that creating a robust institutional framework to impart necessary knowledge and skills to young people is a fundamental mandate implicit in the job creation dimension of our agenda. To accomplish this, we recognize that nothing short of radical disruption would align our national education system with this plan. For decades, our education system consistently fell short of its ideal standard as society's ultimate means of building an equitable society by giving every child, irrespective of background, the chance to fulfill their potential, chase their dream, and rise to the highest possible level of achievement. For this reason, we run the risk of becoming a rigidly entrenched class society divided by inequality and unable to pursue a common vision or articulate any collective aspiration as one nation. Even after implementing free primary education and beginning to undertake free day secondary education, we hesitated when it came to the most critical intervention for developing employable skills in tertiary and higher education. Over the years, millions of Kenyans were left at home after failing to secure admission to tertiary education institutions. As time went by, graduates of these institutions started having difficulties finding employment, and employers began complaining that our graduates lacked skills relevant for modern competitive industries. As entry examinations became viciously competitive on one end, and employers were spending billions of shillings retraining graduates to make them suitable for their enterprise needs. In the middle, millions of youths were left with no choice except to flock to informal sector and unskilled work. Our entire university capacity in 41 public and 37 private universities admits 650,000 students in total and remains unable to keep up with a growing demand. Every year, therefore, many eligible and interested young people are unable to enroll for university education, and the Open University of Kenya gives them a chance to. In the plan, we identified the setting up of a national university, as I said, as a critical intervention to address this crisis. The objective was to increase access while reducing the cost of university education in order to finally deliver 100% transition to higher education, whether it is transition to our TVETs, whether it's transition to our VCTs, whether it is our transition to our universities. That transition must happen so that we can continuously sharpen our human capital and use it to drive the prosperity of our country. As I have told you, I did undertake, and I am very proud of the team led by Professor Munavu, my former teacher. That great professor is a wonderful, good man. He participated in the education chapter, in the formulating the education chapter of our Kenya Kwanza plan, and many other aspects of that. And I'm very happy that he is also participating in its implementation. Asante sana, Professor. Early findings from the recommendation that Professor Munavu and team and Professor Maritim and team recommended on working group enabled us to consolidate the institutional framework for the National Open University and finalize the groundwork for its inauguration by developing, validating, and uploading courses and training material online. On Madaraka Day, as you all remember, I announced to the nation that the National Open University would shortly obtain its charter. That was a few months ago. Today, I am very proud that we've given Open University of Kenya a university charter. The magnitude of this achievement to me is big. For long, the term inclusive was assumed to be naturally incompatible with the purposes of higher education, while university education was commonly understood to be, by definition, the exclusive privilege of a few. And I say this as a public servant, knowing very well where we come from. When I look, for example, and that is what motivated me to rethink the higher education funding model. Because, good people, out of our 11,000, is it, or 12,000 secondary schools, Belio? 11,000. 11,000 secondary schools in Kenya. 5,000 secondary schools do not send even one student to university. Whole 5,000, most of them in rural Kenya. That is a cause for us to do some soul searching. Many of the students who end up at our universities are the children in academies and the children of people who can afford a certain quality of education. Kenya cannot continue that way. We have to rethink it. Yes. And that is why in the new funding model at the university, we made the deliberate decision that students from vulnerable families must get 100% scholarship, at least to make sure that those who manage to go that far never drop out because they were not able to pay for this or the other. But we're going to work backwards. And I've already told Waziri Machogu to think. It cannot continue like that. We cannot continue to have the children of a few Kenyans going up the education ladder. We must make sure that the children of all Kenyans have equal opportunity to be their best. Today, Kenya makes history by flinching open the door of the university for everyone who wishes to receive higher education, from the convenience of their home, office, kiosk, farm, or other hustles. Those who do not wish or cannot afford to abandon their other interests in order to pursue university education can now enroll on more convenient terms. This is, in my very honest opinion, the university possibly of herdsmen, farmers. Mama Mboga in his place can also attend now university. Matatu drivers, boda people, when you are waiting for your passengers, you can attend courses at the university. Watchmen, domestic employees, as well as trained professionals and graduates. Nothing says bottom-up better than an open University of Kenya that gives everybody a chance. It is indeed, in again my very honest submission, the people's university. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can be in class in a university by simply logging in. I note with great satisfaction that the simultaneous implementation of our Open University and the Digital Superhighway commitment demonstrate the internal coherence of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda and highlights the strategic complementarities between its pillars. You know, when we were discussing about how we are going to roll out 100 kilometers of fiber optic, many people were wondering why. It's about delivery of many things. E-commerce, delivery of digital jobs, delivery of university education, alongside all the other education requirements. We believe that intensifying connectivity in transport and communication infrastructure is essential for higher productivity and more vigorous economic activity throughout Kenya. This applies to traditional economic activity as well as the digital economy. As we continue to enrich our roads, rail, pipeline, port infrastructure, we are equally highly focused on laying down the infrastructural backbone of a robust digital economy. We are therefore collaborating with the private sector and other partners to build 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable network to connect every part of Kenya to high bandwidth digital networks. To complement this, we are also establishing fully fledged digital hubs in every constituency and 22,000 Wi-Fi hotspots at every market center in Kenya. And again, I have told my good friend Governor Mutula Jr., my lawyer, that we intend to expand this to all the vocational training centers that are manned by county governments, because we want to expand opportunity for access, both for purposes of training, for purposes of e-commerce, and also for purposes of ensuring that our digital jobs footprint in Kenya is as widely spread as possible. What this means is that the people of Kenya will be able to take advantage of nationwide internet accessibility to surmount the barriers of distance and cost to access quality education in their millions. We cannot therefore afford to be lax about quality in administering the curriculum of the Open University of Kenya. The university is our opportunity to provide quality, affordable education equitably and inclusively, while also taking deliberate care to develop a critical mass of digital and technological skills that will endow enterprises in all sectors with a suitable capacity to be innovative and also to be competitive. And I say this because it is important And maybe I will request the university to consider, amongst the courses that the university should consider, is a course in making Kenya multilingual. I think it is easy for us to learn French, Chinese, Arabic, and every other language online. So it is our intention as a government to expand opportunities for the people of Kenya because we have the best human resource anywhere in the world. And to be able to deploy this best human resource, we need to access every market. And for us to access every market, we must be multilingual so that Kenyans can speak different languages. I would, maybe it is good to learn your mother tongue, but it takes you only so far around the village. But so I think added on to your mother tongue, I think, and all the other languages, Kiswahili and English, I think all of us should aspire to at least have another 2 languages. And I hope the university, Open University of Kenya can give us that opportunity. When you open that window, please let me know because I want to enroll. I am delighted to announce that the inaugural installment of courses to be offered by the university are highly aligned to our transformational agenda. Through the courses, we will acquire a formidable national stock of digital skills for our market and beyond. They include, as they are listed there, Bachelor of Cybersecurity and Digital Forensics, which, going by recent events in our digital domain, must be in very high demand in our market. Others are Bachelor of Data Science, Bachelor of Technology Education, Bachelor of Science in Business and Entrepreneurship and Statistics, and Bachelor of Science in Agriculture and Food Systems, again, because we need to deal with the cost of living. I am very happy that you people are thinking about it. The university also will offer postgraduate diplomas in leadership and accountability, as well as learning, design, and technology. I have been assured that in coming years, master's and doctorate programs will be introduced, making lifelong learning not only possible, but also accessible and affordable. The adoption of best practice, technologies, and teaching tools at the Open University of Kenya will guarantee effective curriculum implementation, quality education and training, and also set the pace for higher education in Kenya to transform teaching and also transform learning. I am encouraged to note that the university will implement a framework for recognizing prior learning in order to smoothen the pathways of progression for students. To enhance choice and increase our public university capacity, the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service should incorporate the Open University of Kenya into its portal in time to enroll students for the academic year commencing September this year. It goes without saying that the students placed through what's commonly known as COOPs will benefit from government financial support through the new funding model according to the combination of loans and scholarships as evaluated by the means testing instrument. And I have seen the CEO of Higher Education Loans Board here. I am sure you have come to make sure that this facility is good enough to benefit from the resources that you disburse. I take this opportunity to commend the Cabinet Secretary for Education and various teams who supported him in delivering this magnificent achievement. You have accomplished, Minister, a historic project that I started many years ago. Be very proud that you brought this home. And one that ensures higher education systems leave no one behind. The Open University of Kenya is a major milestone in the implementation of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda, and I thank all of you, those who made every contribution to get us here, for a job well done. Asanteni sana. I encourage all Kenyans interested in pursuing university education flexibly, conveniently, and affordably to make sure that they are in class come September this year. Aside from the university, the Konza ecosystem is benefiting from a greening initiative spearheaded by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry through its lead agency, Kenya Forest Service and Kenya Forestry Research. As I told the CEO a few months ago when they came to see me, you need to do something about greening this place, Bwana CEO. You know? I know you are acting CEO. Maybe if you did a good job with the greening, who knows? Huh? So whatever how you use that information is up to you. Working with the Konza Technopolis Development Authority on the greening initiative, the agencies are, among other technical services, providing appropriate tree seed varieties best suited for the Asal region as part of the 15 billion National Tree Growing and Ecosystem Restoration Program that seeks to raise Kenya's tree cover to 30% by 2032. The initiative will see authorities set up a 10 million capacity tree nursery to enable it grow 1 million trees within the Technopolis by 2025, making it a model site in restoration of Asal landscape. And I have said that KFS, in collaboration with Konza, should make seedlings available to the communities around here. The county government of Makueni, the county government of Machakos, the county government of Kajiado should be able to benefit from the tree seedlings here. And I look forward to a report that says we are making progress. Let me also say, so far, the authority has been able to grow 30,000 trees and 200,000 shrubs and ground cover within phase 1 of the Technopolis, and donated 100,000 seedlings to communities, public institutions, and conservation organizations for planting within the Technopolis 10 kilometers buffer zone in the last 1 year. Through KEFRI and Konza will set up an ultra-modern research and development facility that will become a center of excellence in restoration of degraded Asal landscape by offering training, site-specific matching, and accompanying technical service to communities and institutions working in these fragile ecosystems in our Asals. Alongside Greening Konza initiative, the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, is assisting Konza in sustainable waste management, including setting up one of Kenya's most foremost public e-waste recycling facility on a 2-acre piece of land here. The pilot phase of the project, which is at the core of Kenya's circular economy blueprint, is supported by the World Bank's Global Environment Facility. Many other things I do not want to mention today because this is not the occasion for it. Just to make an announcement that it is my commitment and that of the Kenya government that this facility will go into phase 2 immediately. Let me also say that we have secured another 100 billion for this facility in the next 5 years. So we have resources to develop this Konza facility. Some people have been asking, what have I been doing? When I have gone to this country, I saw the media try and say this man has traveled here and here and here. Amongst the things that we have managed to achieve, I traveled to Korea, I traveled to Germany, I have traveled to another 3 countries on this very subject. I am very proud to announce to you that we now have 100 billion shillings for CONSA Technopolis to develop phase 2. And among the things we want to develop here is the road. We want to expand the road from Machakos Turnoff that we dualed, now all the way to Emali. So we are going to dual that road to eliminate the accidents and to make sure that this facility becomes much more accessible. Another component of what we are going to do with that facility is to make sure that we deliver water to this facility. I have heard the discussion, the suggestions that have been made by the leadership of this area in matters water. I want to assure you that we now have a facility that will deliver water directly to this CONSA from Kilimanjaro to this place, and we have the resources to do it. And also to mention that we are also going to rehabilitate the pipeline that already exists. I know there's been a bit of pull and push between Kajiado and Makueni. I want to assure you that we are going to develop these 2 pipelines so that there is no quarrel between the counties. Let me also say we are going to have a huge infrastructure here to support our technology. Because we have made a conscious decision as a country that we are moving into the digital space, there are accompanying risks. But I want to assure you that we have the resources now to build the necessary infrastructure to support Kenya going the technology trajectory. And we will all move in that direction. We have other pieces of infrastructure that will be put up. There is a comprehensive program on how this is going to be delivered. I just want to give assurance to all of us that this Silicon Savannah is going to be something, and it's going to be something we will all be proud of. It is my expectation that we are going to profile this facility as a global facility. And the global facility because many of you may be thinking this is in Malili, this is in this place, but you know it is in Kenya. And Kenya is the home of humanity. Penina Malonza here is running a big program to make Kenya what it should be. We are looking at the possibility of eliminating any visa requirement for anybody who wants to come to Kenya, because science tells us that the earliest remains of man are in Kenya, meaning humanity started from here. And therefore, the people in Europe and America and all those other places, they came from here. And it is not fair to ask anybody for a visa when they are going home. Yeah, it's not fair. So we are seriously, and I have assigned the Prime Cabinet Secretary here with a ministerial team to work on that concept, because we could possibly drive our tourist numbers from our 2 million to maybe 20 million by just telling everybody, please come home. Yeah. So sasa nyinyi mnataka kutusumbua hapa ati sijui Machakos, sijui wapi. Sisi tunataka kulete wale wengi wako huko wakuje Kenya. So I am really happy that we can do this together and work as a team. Tutashirikiana pamoja. So the other issues that have been raised by leaders here, we're going to make sure that we work together collaboratively, making sure that we are participating. Let me tell you, good people. As I said earlier, we've always been thinking, and our political conversation has always been, oh, you know, we are sharing, we didn't get enough. cake for the people of Kenya. And that is why we are investing in education so that we can equip everybody, give everybody a chance to acquire knowledge, to acquire skills, so that they can help us build this big cake. We are having policy interventions. Why are we discussing about creating jobs? We are creating jobs because we want to give everybody a chance to make a contribution to the prosperity of Kenya. There are so many people who want to make a contribution, but they are limited by opportunity. That's why we are deliberate about creating 1 million jobs using housing, creating 1 million jobs using digital space, creating additional jobs by exporting labor, giving ourselves an opportunity, as many of us as possible. We must get an opportunity to contribute towards baking that bigger cake for Kenya. We are making policy interventions. For example, in the budget, we are saying, why should we import the things that we can produce in Kenya, using our own resources, using our own energy, our own talent, our own expertise, our own skills, so that, again, we can give everybody a chance to make a contribution. That's why we are saying cement, for example, we are going to be producing it in Kenya. Let's expand the cement producing capacity in Kenya, give many people an opportunity to work in those industries, use local resources, whether it is lime, whether it is sand. Let's use local resources. Let us not import furniture that we can produce locally. It is an opportunity to give more Kenyans an opportunity to contribute in baking a bigger cake. Let us not import fish, for goodness sake. We have many young people that can go to Lake Victoria, that can go to the Indian Ocean and collect resources from our blue economy resources. God did not give us an ocean for it to be for cinema. God gave us the ocean so that we can tap into the resources therein to grow ourselves, to grow food. Why are we empowering our farmers? We are empowering our farmers so that they can bake a bigger cake, grow more food. And I'm very happy. Farmers are the most, as I said yesterday, they are the most patriotic human beings I have ever come across. Even when they don't make so much, they still go back to the farm. And they need our support. And I am very proud that we're going to work together. I want to persuade my good brother Mutula and your team. Please assist us to get the fertilizer to the farthest corner. Tafadhali, mutusaidie. What I have said is we can build a collabo. We will bring the fertilizer to Makueni, the few spots that we can. You can establish some stores in different areas. We will give you the human beings, the human capital, and the labor to run those stores so that we can grow food locally. We have a whole program which we are discussing with the counties to make sure that we can harvest water. I know, for example, in this region, water is a very important component. We can unlock the huge potential in the soils we have in this region by delivering water. It is the reason why we are going to complete Thwake by February next year. I have given very firm instructions. We cannot build Thwake forever. It must come to an end. And we are going, I will come to Thwake in February. I have told everybody that I will be there. I have given a date, so they have to work backwards, and deliver it. Because we've been here for a long time. There are other dams that we have discussed. You've seen the ones that we have advertised. We're going to advertise another lot. We're going to work with the counties to do more water pans, micro dams, to make sure that we harvest as much water as we can, so that we can empower our farmers to be able to produce more food for us, bake a bigger cake for us, so that we are not complaining about lack of this and lack of the other. So I want us to mobilize ourselves, focus our energy. Good people, we have a great country. Let us not let ourselves down. by doing the wrong things. Let us mobilize every energy, every resource, every talent, every knowledge to drive our country's prosperity. And we can do it working together. So nawauliza tafadhali, tuungane, tuko na mpango mzuri. Hawa ndugu zangu wa counties, niliwaambia hatutaenda barabara ya madeni. We cannot be a country that is borrowing left, right, center, up, down, front, back. No. Because we run the real risk of going downhill. And I am very proud that the people of Kenya have told me with clarity that they are willing to make their contribution in making sure that we have the resources, but they have cautioned me that those resources should not be stolen by anybody. And I will make sure they are not stolen by anybody. Yeah? So, ile panga nilipatiwa pale ni ya kuchunga mali ya Wakenya. Mtu yote atakuja hapo na wizi atakipata. And I have given very firm instructions. There is no two ways about it. The one other thing that we must all agree is that we will compete. We are a very competitive country. We are a country that has a lot of talent, a big pool of ideas and knowledge. We will compete. Our ideas, we will compete with our ideas. We will compete with our knowledge. We will compete with our positions. But we will never compete in violence. Please, that one, I have said, it will never happen again in Kenya. Mambo ya vita na kupiganisha watu, hapana, haiwezi kuendelea tena kwa hii Kenya. Hiyo tu tukubaliane. And whatever it takes, we will mobilize whatever resource to make sure that we secure the lives of Kenyans, their property, their businesses, and make sure that Kenya is firmly on the foundation of a peaceful nation. Because violence undermines our democracy. Violence undermines our development. Violence undermines our prosperity and our standing as a nation in the community of nations. So we cannot allow it. Hiyo ingine tuongee. Ndio ingine tuongee. I have also made sure that we support our members of parliament. I made sure that all the monies for CDF, for our members of parliament, in fact, for the women, I committed to them that I will add them 1 billion shillings for NGAF, which I did. We will support the Senate to do its work. As was said here, the last financial year, in 2022, the government then crossed over with about 30 billion shillings belonging to counties. This year, I made sure that we paid to the last cent before we crossed the year. I have also made sure that the money due to counties for July was paid in July for the first time in 10 years. And I will continue to support all other institutions to make sure that we deliver for the people of Kenya. Tafadhali mimi nawaomba, tukiwapatia pesa ya county, msiende kuchukua na kupanga maandamano ya vita. Please. That is not right. That is not why counties were made. Sio kama tunaelewana, my friends. Mnataka atichukue ushuru ya Kenya, taxpayers money, twende tununue mawe ya kupiganisha wa Kenya? Hapana, hapana. Hapana. Hiyo no. So, tafadhali mimi nawauliza kwa heshima kubwa viongozi wenzangu, mimi nawaheshimu sana, nataka tuheshimiane, sisi wote ni wafanyikazi wa hawa wananchi wa Kenya jameni. So kila mtu tusichanganyikiwe. Unajua saa zingine majina hii title mingi, excellency this, mheshimiwa that, nini mpaka tunaona we are special. We are not. We are just as ordinary as every Kenyan, and we are servants of these great people. They pay our salaries, they put fuel in our cars. Let us work for them because they deserve it. Ama namna gani ndugu zangu? Tumekubaliana? So tushirikiane namna hiyo. na nitarudi hapa kwanza tena. Mmesikia tumepanga kama serikali na tumetafuta marafiki, tumepanga vile tutaendesha sehemu hii, na facility hii itakuwa ni facility ya muhimu sana katika maendeleo ya taifa letu la Kenya. Mimi nimefurahi sana kwamba Open University iko tayari, na nimeuliza kwa heshima Bwana Vice Chancellor, tutafutie kosi ya kusoma French, kuna wengine wanataka kusoma Chinese, kuna wengine wanataka kusoma Italian, kuna wengine wanataka kusoma Spanish, kuna wengine wanataka kusoma Arabic. Hii kwa mtandao tunaweza kusoma hiyo. Haihitaji laboratory, haihitaji nini, haihitaji nje. Hakuna mahali ya kukaza nut. So tunaweza kusoma hiyo kwa mtandao. Ama namna gani? So na ile courses zingine zote ambazo tumekubaliana. Na tumekubaliana masomo itakuwa katika malipo ya chini. Ndio wale mahasla wangu wengi wapate nafasi ya kusoma. Nataka kila mtu apate nafasi ya kusukuma masomo. So asanteni sana na watakia baraka ya Mungu. Congratulations to Open University of Kenya.
Nitaomba Mheshimiwa Rais kwa ruhusa asalie kwenye jukwaa kwa kipindi kifupi tu cha picha. Nitaomba tuketi tafadhali. Nimwalike mkuu wa mawaziri kwa jukwaa na waziri wetu wa elimu. Wale wengine tuketi tafadhali. Alafu niombe the Open University officials tafadhali tuende kwenye